Welcome to my channel. First, check out my recommended yeast infection removal method here. One weird trick eliminates candida overgrowth and gives you freedom from yeast infections in as little as 12 hours, guaranteed. The video presentation below shows you some unique and rare tips on how to treat candida yeast infection and gain complete relief in as little as 12 hours. This is based on the latest scientific research on how to stop the actual cause of candida overgrowth and the debilitating yeast infection symptoms such as vaginal or male yeast infections, thrush, digestive disorders and allergies, mood swing, rashes and loss of energy. And if you also have any excess unhealthy body fat, then the moves highlighted below will help burn it off while restoring your energy and vitality and dramatically improving the quality of your life. Click on link below to watch the video. Top 6 foods to eat to get rid of yeast infection. If you are looking for foods to combat yeast infections, then you're in luck. Indeed, there have been some well-documented foods that can stop this troublesome problem. Here are 6 foods to combat yeast infections. Yogurt. Eating yogurt is a good way to cure your yeast infection, but more to the point, it's a good way to prevent a yeast infection. While just eating the yogurt won't give you the properties of the acidophilus when and where you need it immediately, it can help by building up and maintaining healthy levels of the acidophilus when you don't have a yeast infection. In this way it can help to prevent yeast infections from occurring in the first place. Cranberries. Cranberries have long been known for their medicinal properties, and you will also find that cranberries are also recommended for clearing up urinary tract infections as well. It is said that the cranberries inhibits bacteria from clinging to where they shouldn't be. For the purposes as a cure for yeast infections, cranberries can be taken in a few different forms. It should also be noted that this remedy doesn't always work for everyone. However, as this is a particularly painless and easy remedy, there really is no harm in trying this out. Unless, of course, you're allergic to cranberries, in which case I would suggest you stay well away from this remedy. For the people for whom this remedy works though, you will find that they also take the cranberries as sort of a preventative as well as a curative, something along the lines of an apple a day keeping the doctor away. Garlic. Garlic is one of nature's wonder cures. Not only can this little miracle worker potentially ward off vampires, but it can also lower blood pressure and fight off bad cholesterol. Not to mention the fact that it's also a natural antibiotic and can fight off yeast like nobody's business. So alright, other than the vampire bit, everything has been medically proven, and garlic is one of the #1 wonder cures that have been discovered. Again, not that it was lost to begin with, just a little misplaced in this day and age of miracle cures straight out of a test tube. However, just because we lost sight of the fact that garlic was a natural remedy for most things, it doesn't mean that garlic stopped itself from being a cure. It was always around, and the more savvy amongst us were using it for all manner of things, including for yeast infections. How you take it though, depends entirely on whether you can stand the pungent smell of this little herb. Raw, as juice, suppository, in pill form, as a douche. One other thing that you might want to keep in mind is that some people are allergic to garlic, so you might want to test that theory out before trying out any of these garlic remedies. Oil of oregano. This is supposed to be a great remedy for fighting off yeast infections. The main thing to look out for when you're buying oil of oregano is to see what the carvacrol content is. Since this is what does all the fighting against the invading yeast armies, you'll want to get your oil of oregano with a high carvacrol content. Carvacrol has known antifungal effects as well as antimicrobial properties, and inhibits the growth of Candida albicans. Cinnamon. Cinnamon, either in oil form, bark form, or powder form, is a very potent herb and can help in the curing of many a problem. Key in this fight against all things unhealthy is its antifungal and antibacterial properties. And one of the best ways to take cinnamon I've found is as a tea. And it's quite simple to make as well. Of course, you also have the option of taking cinnamon in your food, but you might have to use a light hand here, as cinnamon can be a potent, and sometimes pungent, herb. Some people do have a reaction when confronted with cinnamon, so you should be aware of this before you start on a course of cinnamon to fight off your yeast infection. Cinnamon is also not recommended for use by women who are pregnant. Buttermilk. There's not much I can add to this section other than the fact that anything remotely resembling curd, or yogurt, is good for your yeast infection. Or rather, it's good in getting rid of your yeast infection. Buttermilk is also a very good preventative measure in the fight against yeast. So if you tend to suffer from recurring yeast infections, you might want to think about making buttermilk part of your daily diet. This way the buttermilk has the time to act on your body during the times when your yeast has cleared up, thereby hopefully paving the way to stop your yeast infection from recurring. Either way you look at it though, whether you take the buttermilk as a part of a cure for your yeast, or as a preventative, be sure to take at least 2 glasses a day. That, of course, is if you can drink it. I know 1 or 2 people who find it to be unpalatable, but then again, that's only personal taste.